Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad where we get together in my craft room and make a card. Today's card is a mini card, which is so cute. It kind of reminds me of something that would be the perfect invitation. But when you open it up, you can see that cute little train is ready to go down the tracks. Now, the best part about this is it's really easy to make. And you can even involve the kids if you want. Let me share with you how easy it is to make. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need the A1, meaning the mini size, half card that has the heart. Now, we're not going to use the heart to cut it out. We're going to use other parts of the dies to cut it out. We're also going to be using the Train to Stamp set that I designed for the Stamps of Life. And we're going to be using the dies that go with the train. Okay, so that's it, and we're ready to go. Now the first thing you want to do is you always want to die cut your card base first, right? And I've already gotten out the die. Now what we want to do with this, because it is a gatefold card, we're going to die cut it twice. I've already die cut it once just to save us on time. So I'm going to get another piece of cardstock and die cut this one again. We're going to lay that down and we're going to run this through. And oh, that was a little bit almost perfectly straight. So we want to go a little bit at an angle because we don't want any what? Speed bumps, that's right. We don't ever want to go straight through our machine because those blades, the roller will just jump over the blades instead of actually cutting where those straight blades are. So now what we have is we have two of these cut out. And what we're going to do next is we're going to move this off to the side just a little bit. And you can see, and I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I'm going to lay this die down so you can see. So this was die cut like this. And this one was flipped the opposite, die cut like this. So I have my two small panels right next to each other and I'm gonna line those up just like that. Whoops, just like that. Now what I'm gonna do is I am going to get my shadow die for my train and I'm gonna lay that down and I'm gonna line this up so it's right in the center of those two panels. So I have a big panel here, this is what it looks like. A big panel here, a little panel here, flip. Little panel here, big panel here, okay? So make sure your paper looks like that. We're gonna lay this down, and because I have a smaller die, I can use a smaller cutting pad. We're gonna run that through, just like that, and then we're gonna do some stamping. Yay! Okay, so we're gonna move that off to the side. So we have this little piece cut out, and it looks kind of funny, and you know what? I just realized I'm gonna have to trim that off just a little bit. So we're gonna grab this because that little piece right there is gonna get in our way. So we'll trim that right there. Now we're good. So we're gonna put that off to the side. And then we are going to stamp our cute little train. So let's grab some ink. And I'm just using licorice. I'm gonna ink that baby up. And of course I'm using my Stamper Secret Weapon down below because I wanna make sure I get a nice clean image. And I'm gonna stamp, press on the back of your stamp. A lot of times I'll see people just go like this and lift up, and you need to press on the back because it needs to get direct contact to that paper. It needs to touch the paper to be able to stamp it, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're going to die cut that. So we're gonna lay that down and we're going to run that through. Just like that. Now at the same time, we're also going to die cut our little track. So we've already added Sizzix adhesive to the back, and I'm gonna lay this down right there. Oh, a dirty die equals a dirty cut. Make sure you have a clean die cut. So let's clean that up a little. Okay, we're gonna lay that down. Then we're also going to lay down the 4U die. And do I have that? I don't think I do. Oh, I do have it out. Huh, oh, there it is. So we're gonna grab that and the shadow. So we're gonna lay this down. This has adhesive on the back also. And we're going to get our midnight color and we're gonna lay that down. And now we have all of our die cutting ready to go. So let's grab a cutting pad, and that fits perfect, and we're gonna run all of that through. Now, to save on time, I'm going to use this one that's already die cut because we've already colored this one. So you can use any pens you like. We prefer to use our pens that match our inks and our papers, but you can use any pens you want. So see here, I've taken this and we've already colored it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the 4U, and look at that. Now the nice thing is it has that adhesive on the back, so we're just gonna peel off that adhesive paper. So now it's nice and sticky. See, it's a sticker. It's not gonna go anywhere. And we're gonna get the shadow die, and we're gonna lay that down just like that. Cute for you. And then we have our track. Now this is one of my favorite dies because look at this. Once you clean it out, and I'm just flicking it because it's just easier. Look at how fantastic that train track is. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so let's get all of this together. Let's cover our ink pad so we don't accidentally put our fingers in it like I usually do. So now what we have is we're going to fold our card base. Now remember those panels I was talking about? So I folded on that score line, and then I'm going to fold on that score line. The score lines are already there. I did not make them. The die made it for me. And I'm going to add adhesive to one of these panels. And this is going to line up right like that. And I'm going to, before I really press down, I'm going to make sure my front lines up. And then I'm going to press. So that is my card base, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to add our little train. And let's add a little bit of adhesive foam. I like to pop that baby up a little bit. Now that I have this nice foam that is easy to peel the backing off. And it's easy to add any shape I want. I can make it do any size because we use these for shaker cards also. But now you can also cut them down to any size you want. Use as little or as much as you want. And we're going to close this up, and then we're going to lay this right on the inside. So when we pull this up, look at that. It is perfectly centered, ready to go. Now, we also want to add, oh, I just realized we forgot to add the white. Take that off, don't do that, don't do that. We forgot to add the white. Now I could have just left it alone, but that would have, we want to follow the sample a little bit more than that. So I have, uh-oh, did I use the wrong one? I used the wrong one. Well, we're not doing that now. Okay, I used the wrong one for my, wait, where'd it go? Yep, we did. Okay, so we're just gonna go for it. We're putting it down. But let's first put this little track down. So I accidentally stamped the wrong one. That's okay. There's no wrong way in crafting. So we're going to lay this down, and we're going to trim this because we don't want it to go too much further. So we're going to trim that right there on the crease line. Right, oh, come on, right there on the crease line. There we go. And we're just going to add this right back to where it was. Remember, we're going to fold this. There we go. We want to make sure that we get it right in the right spot. There we go, so cute. And then we want to add the cute little for you. So we're going to add a little bit of adhesive to that. Right there. And to finish it off, we're going to add two little borders. So we have our two little strips of paper. And we're just going to add some adhesive to that. Messy, messy. And these are extra long on purpose because what we're going to do is we're going to line it up to one side of the card, just like that. See how I lined it up right there? And then I'm just going to have to trim one side. It looks like it needs more adhesive. Let's add a little bit more adhesive on that. There we go. Now I'm going to just trim, turn it over, and trim using the card edge as your guide. There we go. See, now it's the perfect size. If you took it to a cutter or trimmer and tried to trim that down, chances are it's not going to line up exactly the way you want it to. So line it up on one side, lay it down, and then turn it over, and then just trim using the card as your guide. There you go. Okay, and to finish this little kid off, this little cutie off, we have a cute little red bow. Let's grab a glue dot. And we're just gonna add this cute little bow. Let's add two more glue dots. There we go. We're gonna add that right there, and look at how cute this little card is. Isn't it adorable for you? I can totally picture doing an invitation on the back, just printing it out on your printer and then cutting it out. And wouldn't that be cute and adorable and so much fun? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we get together and make a card. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.